Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a really fascinating book, one that might just flip everything you thought you knew about happiness on its head. It's called Life According to Reason by Dr. Moshe Kroy, and it lays out this incredible blueprint for achieving something he calls objective happiness.
Now, before we jump in, I gotta give a huge shout out. This whole explainer is based on a fantastic summary put together by Oshri Top from the channel Learn from the Best. Oshri has really dug deep into Dr. Kroy's work, so we're leaning on her insights to break all this down. Okay, you ready? Let's do this. So, right off the bat, the book hits you with this question that really makes you stop and think. I mean, we all tend to think of happiness as, those little bursts of joy, right? That great day at work, an awesome vacation. But what if that's not the whole picture? Dr. Kroy wants us to imagine a totally different kind of happiness, one that's like a solid foundation you build for yourself, brick by brick. Okay, so how does he even start to reframe this? Well, this gets us to the absolute core of his book, which, by the way, he wrote way back in 1975. And K-Rock makes this really bold claim. He says, what if real, lasting happiness isn't just a feeling that comes and goes? What if it's a stable state of being, something objective that you can actually build? And the one and only tool you need? Reason.
And this is where it starts to get really mind-bending. Kroy's whole argument rests on this one big idea. Reality is objective. It is what it is, whether we're happy about it or not. So if you want to be truly happy, you can't just let your messy, all-over-the-place emotions be the boss. No, instead, you have to use logic and reason like a compass to navigate the world as it really is.
Okay, but let's be real. What does objective happiness actually look like in the real world? To help us get our heads around it, Kroy splits the idea of happiness into two totally different categories.
So first, you've got what he calls subjective happiness. And this is the one we all know, right? It's that roller coaster. It's the high you get from a promotion, the fun of a party, the simple joy of a great meal. And look, it's awesome. But it's totally dependent on what's happening around you. And because of that, as we all know too well, it doesn't last. It's here one minute, gone the next.
But then there's the main event, objective happiness. And this is a whole different ballgame. It's not some emotion that just washes over you. It's a solid, stable state of being. And it comes from a really deep, rational understanding of yourself and the world. The absolute game changer here is that it's independent of what's going on outside. You can actually feel it even when things are, well, not so great. So just look at the difference here, side by side. One's all about feelings, the other is about understanding. One gets yanked around by external events, the other is totally independent. I love this analogy. Subjective happiness is like a kite, right? It soars when the wind is just right, but gets thrashed around in a storm. Objective happiness, though, that's like a giant old tree with deep roots. The storms will still rage, for sure, but the tree itself, it stays standing. It's stable.
All right, this all sounds pretty amazing in theory, doesn't it? But how do we actually do it? What are the conditions for this kind of happiness? How do we even begin to build that foundation in our own lives? Well, Dr. Kroy actually gives us a pretty clear four-step roadmap. Step 1, you got to develop some serious self-awareness, like really get to know what's going on inside your own head. Then step 2, you use that knowledge to make rational decisions, choices based on logic and facts, not just a whim or a feeling. Step 3 is a big one, taking complete personal responsibility, owning the fact that your happiness comes from your choices. And finally, step 4, learning to rise above those fleeting emotions. You still feel them, but you learn to just observe them without letting them grab the steering wheel. And this isn't just some abstract philosophical stuff either. The book actually gets super practical. It gives you concrete tools that you can start using, like right now, to build up that rational mindset. So here's how you actually put this stuff into practice. Take meditation, for instance. It's not just about chilling out. It's a powerful tool for quieting all that mental chatter so you can find the self-awareness we were just talking about. Or journaling. Think of it as your own personal science lab, where you can dissect your thoughts and find those irrational patterns that might be holding you back. It's all about training your mind, like a muscle. You build that rational strength day by day, with practice. So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here? What's the main point? It's that happiness, well, it's not some finish line you cross.
And this quote just nails it. Happiness is not a destination, but an ongoing process that requires constant work on ourselves and mastery of our own consciousness. See? It's not some treasure you just stumble upon. It's the daily grind, the conscious effort you put in every single day. It's a practice, not a prize.
And before we wrap up, I just have to say a huge thank you one more time to Oshri Top for the incredible summary that made this all possible. And Oshri brings up a really interesting point. She notes that Dr. Kroy himself actually changed his mind about a lot of things over the years. But she doesn't see that as a bad thing at all. In fact, she sees it as proof of his amazing intellectual growth, his dedication to always learning and moving on to the next big idea.
So, that leaves us with one final thought, a question for you to really sit with. This book basically lays out two different paths to happiness. And now that you see the difference so clearly, it really makes you ask yourself, doesn't it? Which kind of happiness are you building? Are you spending all your energy chasing those fleeting waves on the surface? Or are you putting in the work to build that deep, solid foundation that can withstand any storm that comes your way?